laws. They're supposed to keep us safe and maintain order, right? But what if we told you that some laws are so bizarre, so outlandish, that you'd think they were made up by a comedy writer on a caffeine binge? Grab your gavel and powdered wig, because today we're diving into the weirdest laws that are still in effect around the world. Let's kick things off in the United Kingdom, where it's illegal to handle salmon. The Salmon Act of 1986 includes a section that makes it illegal to handle salmon in suspicious circumstances. This bizarre law is part of efforts to combat illegal salmon fishing, but the wording has left people scratching their heads. What exactly counts as suspicious salmon handling? Walking it on a leash? Carrying it in a trench coat? The world may never know. But one thing's for sure, if you're in the UK, keep your salmon dealings on the up and up. Next, we head down under to Australia, where the law cracks down on disruptive kids. In Victoria, it's illegal for children to make loud noises near houses after 10 p.m. So if little Timmy is throwing a tantrum past bedtime, he could technically be breaking the law. Imagine trying to explain that one to a toddler. While this law was probably intended to keep the peace in residential areas, it's harder to imagine it being enforced strictly. And now for a law that really stinks. Literally. In Switzerland, it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. if you live in an apartment. The Swiss take their peace and quiet very seriously, and apparently that includes nighttime bathroom activities. This law is all about maintaining harmony in shared living spaces, but it's hard enough not to laugh at the thought of tiptoeing around the toilet in the middle of the night. If you're ever in Switzerland, maybe plan your bathroom breaks accordingly. Or invest in some earplugs for your neighbors. Of course, we can't talk about strange laws without mentioning the United States, where each state seems to have its own unique brand of weirdness. Take Alabama, for example, where it's illegal to drive while blindfolded. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like this should be common sense. In Alabama, the law explicitly states that you cannot drive a vehicle while blindfolded. It's a good rule, but you have to wonder what prompted it in the first place. Was someone really out there trying to reenact a bird box challenge on the roads? Alabama has got you covered. Keep your eyes on the road, folks. And let's not forget about Indiana, where it's illegal to attend a public event or use public transportation within 4 hours of eating garlic. So if you're planning to chow down on some garlic bread, make sure you're ready for a 4-hour timeout. Indiana's garlic law is a real head-scratcher. Apparently, the law was designed to keep public spaces free from pungent odors, but it's hard to imagine anyone actually enforcing it. Just think of all the garlic lovers out there breaking the law every day. Next time you're in Indiana, you might want to carry some breath mints, just in case. Heading north to Canada, where they've got a law that would leave any Scotsman shaking his head. In the city of Victoria, British Columbia, it's illegal to play the bagpipes in public. Yep, the instrument known for its proud, piercing sound is a no-go in certain areas. This law was put into place to prevent noise pollution, but it's still a bit of a bummer for bagpipe enthusiasts. After all, what's a parade or a wedding without the sweet sound of bagpipes? If you're planning to play the pipes in Victoria, better keep it indoors or risk the wrath of the law. Next, we hop over to France, where naming your pig Napoleon is against the law. It turns out the French take their history seriously, and they don't want their famous emperor's name to be associated with, well, bacon. The law is a nod to Napoleon Bonaparte, who remains a significant historical figure in France. While it's unlikely that anyone would take personal offense, the law is still in place as a sign of respect. So, if you've got a pig and a penchant for French history, maybe choose a different name, like Pierre or Jacques. Now, let's talk about Japan, where even cats need to watch their weight. In a town in Fukuoka Prefecture, it's illegal to have an overweight cat. The law was put into place to protect public health and prevent the spread of diseases that could be carried by stray cats. While the idea of weighing your cat to ensure it's within the legal limits sounds silly, the law actually has a serious purpose. Stray cats are a big problem in some parts of Japan, and keeping them healthy and disease-free is important for the community. So, if you've got a chunky feline friend in Fukuoka, you might want to get them on a diet stat. Singapore takes cleanliness to a whole new level with its famous chewing gum ban. Since 1992, it's been illegal to buy or sell chewing gum in Singapore, except for medicinal purposes. The government introduced the law to keep public spaces clean and free from gum litter. The chewing gum ban in Singapore is no joke. Getting caught with the sticky stuff can result in hefty fines. It's all about keeping the city-state pristine, and so far it's worked. If you're visiting Singapore and you have a habit of chewing gum, you might want to leave that pack of Trident at home. Italy has its share of strange laws, but this one might take the cake, or the ghost. In the town of Lucca, it's illegal to walk around dressed as a ghost. No, this isn't a Halloween prank. This law is for real. The ghost law in Lucca is aimed at preventing people from scaring the living daylights out of others, especially in a town known for its ancient and often spooky architecture. While the law might seem unnecessary, it's still on the books. So if you're planning a ghost tour of Lucca, leave the white sheet at home. And finally, we wrap up our tour in Denmark, where drivers are required by law to check for children hiding underneath their cars before they start driving. Yes, you heard that right. Before hitting the road, you're supposed to give your vehicle a once-over to make sure there aren't any tiny stowaways. This law might seem over the top, but it's rooted in concern for safety, especially in densely populated areas where kids might be playing near parked cars. While the chances of finding a child under your car might be slim, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So if you're in Denmark, remember to do your pre-drive check. So next time you're traveling, make sure to brush up on the local laws. You never know when you might find yourself on the wrong side of a salmon statute or a bagpipe ban. And remember, laws, no matter how bizarre, often have a story behind them. They reflect the culture, history, and sometimes the quirks of the places we visit. But whether you're a rule follower or a rule breaker, it's important to stay informed. Who knows, maybe these strange laws are exactly what makes traveling so interesting and fun. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the world's strangest laws. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more weird and wonderful content. And hey, let us know in the comments below. What's the weirdest law you've ever heard of? We might just feature it in our next video.